the front of the deck, it just looks like most other Orbit decks, where it has the white border on the top and bottom, not on the sides, saying Orbit down the middle and their circle. It does have a nice the 80s theme. Looks like 80s. I can't remember. I always get the years mixed up. But whatever, I feel like it's 80s. Left side says distributed by the orbitbrown.com and other Orbit Brown and Daniel Snyder ad copy. This side says 7th edition. Each edition says either 5th edition or 6th edition or parallel edition. Bottom just has the same logo, but this time instead of a spaceship or anything, it has the car. And if you know what movie that's from, post that down in the comments. And then this is going to be the back design, which is really fun. They always do that. Top says 23, which I'm not sure why they do that on every single deck, but they always say 23. Truly don't know what that's for. The inside tuck flap says, the deeper you gaze into the cosmos, the harder it is to look back. Persist and endure. The inside has a pair of 3D glasses, and we have a space shuttle. Now the inside of the box is the same thing for the Orbit Parallel Edition design, and that was just fun that they gave a little bit of a teaser for that. And of course on the bottom it says, we are Orbit. And that is all there is for the box. I'll set this off to the side, and let's get into these playing cards. So the playing cards do not have a cigar band, as I said in the intro, which did make me sad, but you are basically already seen the back design because you've already seen the back of the box. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's a little bit more vibrant, which I do like, but besides that, that's really all there is for the back design. And as far as I know, it is a two-way design, unless you have found something that I clearly haven't. Fans do look extremely nice. I mean, look at that. It is it's a thin border, but that pink in the middle makes cardistry look great. I love circle back designs for cardistry. Now, for your jokers, you're going to have, of course, your spaceman on the bicycle paying homage to bicycle. Of course, you have the 23 there. Again, don't know why. But this time you have a dog in the basket. And of course, they're just like always, duplicate jokers. Then you have your ace of spades. You have this one saying, persist and endure, the Orbit deck, the orbitbrown.com, and another 23. Again, don't know why. And this one has both him and the dog. It's just basically a back view of this, with Saturn in the background, and they are standing on a planet, although I'm not sure what planet that would be. Maybe Jupiter, but it just doesn't seem like the right color for that, so it doesn't make much sense. It looks like they'd be on the moon, but the color's wrong, so I don't get that. They do have a little bit of it's not a black, it's more of a navy blue, which does fit the deck. It's like a navy blue purple. There are custom court cards. Some of them are custom, some of them are standard. So this one is, of course, standard, and then the king and jack have been customized faces-wise, and then all the colors have been, of course, changed to suit the deck. Pun very much intended there. So then we have, for our diamonds and hearts, they're going to be the pink that was used on the back design. Love this pink color. And once again, standard and custom courts. No reveals on those at all. And that is really it for the standard cards. And then, of course, after this, you have your double backer, just like all Orbit decks come with. And you have your extra 8 of spades, which all Orbit decks come with. So you also want to know how it feels, what it does, how it handles, and who should buy it. So first, let's see if this thing can ferrule. First, I should be able to cut it down the middle. That works a little bit better. So ferruling from top to bottom, clearly it's like beautiful. Giant fan looks amazing. Giant fan just looks fantastic, honestly. And then from bottom to top, the ferro, even better. Honestly, the ferro even better bottom to top. And then you can give it a little bit of a cascade. Of course, orbit. If you've never seen orbit cards, just go follow notseano, not Sean O, or however you want to say his Instagram handle. I'm not quite sure. But he does some insane stuff with orbit playing cards. He does some insane stuff. They just look really good. So alongside the fact that they look good, you also want to know how they handle, what they feel like. So they're super smooth, just like all orbit playing cards are on. And if you if you already own an orbit deck, it feels like the rest of them, like it's not done on some new stock or anything. If you don't know what orbit playing cards feel like, a close resemblance. Well, that was beautifully smooth. Pretend like that didn't happen. They're about middle of the road. Like, they're not thick, they're not thin. They're honestly just middle of the road thickness playing cards. But they're super buttery smooth for when you're springing them. It's not like it's going to be hard to do. So everything feels really good. Who would actually want to buy this deck? So, of course, there's magicians, there's cardists, there's just collectors, there's people who just like gameplay. And honestly, I would just say everyone. I've definitely used orbit playing cards for card tricks just because, well, you can do so many card tricks and magic tricks because, one, there's a little bit of some fun color things that you can do. And, like, going from orbit deck to orbit deck and changing that because they all have the same type of basic layout. So they all work together when you're going to do a deck change or a color change or anything like that. You can go from a king of clubs to a king of clubs, and then they change colors. Alongside that, they're all standard, so it's not going to take your spectators long to recognize anything, which also is why it also works well for gameplay. Although for gameplay, I would be a little bit hesitant, just because I wouldn't want to ruin this deck. So if you are playing with younger kids, maybe not the deck you want to use. Not only gameplay, clearly collectors would love it because, well, there's already 8 orbit decks that are out, and there are so many people collecting orbit decks, plus they're just beautiful. So this is clearly a deck I would recommend for collectors. And alongside that, cardists, well, that one should be the most blatantly obvious of all the ones that I've said so far. The cardists should love this deck. So if you want to pick this up, I will leave a link down in the description so you guys can pick this up. And if it's the Rare Playing Cards link, you guys get 15% off everything in store, which would include these cards and the other orbit decks. So check that out. Subscribe, ring the bell, give this video a thumbs up. It's 3 things, not 2. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Card Perfect, signing off.